So there's a lot on your plate. Work feels overwhelming. There's too little time. Tasks and projects pile up. Perhaps you don't feel too great. Perhaps you haven't been sleeping too well or enough. Everybody needs something from you and they must get it yesterday. Your house is a mess. You notice so many things that need cleaning, mending, organizing, dealing with, but there is just no time. You've given up on your to-do list. You know it's not possible to do everything that you absolutely have to, so what's the point? You procrastinate. You browse Facebook, Instagram, and whatnot. You feel sick doing that because you know you will have even less time to do what matters, but you just can't pull yourself together to go and do the things you have to do. You're constantly multitasking but getting nothing done. You're upset and you think, why am I this way? Why am I in this position once again? Why is there never enough time? What's the matter with me, with the world? Now, go to the kitchen. Don't look at the dishes, don't look at the floor, don't look at the grime and the mess. Wash your hands with soap and warm water. Not just the fingers, wash them carefully and slowly. Wash your face if you can. Now dry your hands in a towel. Take a glass out of the cupboard, fill it up with water and drink it. Slowly. Feel the pure, cool water flowing into your system. Drink slowly. Think of the water entering your body, your heart, your brain. Once you're done, put the glass down and go to your coloring area. Set an alarm for 15 minutes. Nothing terrible will happen if you get away for 15 minutes. It's not heart surgery. Unless, of course, you are a heart surgeon, in which case, what are you doing here? If there is an open coloring book in your coloring area and you already have a project that you've begun, you may wish to go on, but it's also absolutely fine just to put it away and pick up something completely different, something that will calm you down and get the frantic thoughts out of your mind. If you're a perfectionist and if you are so stressed, then chances are that you are, you might think that every single page you own has to be colored beautifully. If that is the case, go straight to the book you don't love. You definitely have some books you don't love. So take one of those. It doesn't matter how much you will manage to color and how well. It's not about the result. It's not about getting a page colored. It's about spending 15 minutes without stress. You won't have to show the result to anyone. You won't get any grades for that. Now, don't spend an hour picking colors. You have just 15 minutes. Pick the pencils that are closest to you, in an open pencil case, in an open drawer, or otherwise easily accessible. Use watercolors if that is your thing, and if setting everything up won't take a lot of time. Use markers, crayons, pastels, anything. Open your coloring book. Mandalas work great because you generally don't have too much colors and you don't need to think about realistic shading or perfect color blending, but you can color anything for 15 minutes. You're not committing for a week here. Just color something. For 15 minutes, I'm sure you won't be able to relax on the get-go, but some 5 minutes in, Just appreciate how your body is getting soft, how your shoulders are not as tense anymore, how that spot between your eyebrows is getting relaxed. Your breathing becomes deeper and slower. Your heartbeat is slowing down. Feel the resistance of the pencil against the tooth of the paper. Feel the ease of the brush. Marvel at the elegant slide of the brush. Listen to the song of the paper. If you're very, very quiet, and if your thoughts are very, very quiet, you can hear the song of your tools. Be here now. Sharpen the pencil if you need to, but make sure you get all the sensory stimulation of this process. It is quite likely that you will color outside the lines when you are stressed. I know I did, but that's fine. Just notice that and try to slow down a bit. It's not a race. It may seem like it is, because you might have really set the alarm clock for 15 minutes. If you did, then you will be surprised at the level that you can actually change your mood by taking real, practical, deliberate steps to do that. But if you didn't set the alarm, you will most probably feel your head clearing up just a bit, just so that you get out of that panicky, feverish, agitated state, to reset yourself and to look at the situation from a bit of a distance. And I'm sure that always helps. If you really are pressed for time, don't rush the process. Just go at a natural pace, but also don't go overboard and don't spend the next 3 hours perfecting what was never meant to be perfect. Coloring can be a great tool to rewind and to step back, but don't overuse it as an excuse to procrastinate more. Once the time runs out, and it might be 15 minutes, it might be more, depending on the reasons for your stress, just get away from the table. Resist the urge to finish just that one small, tiny detail that you know will take at least 10 more minutes, and then you will find other things to fiddle with. Do not procrastinate any longer. You will be able to come back to your work when you have more time. Just leave it for now. Go back to your day with a renewed sense of control and a clearer mind. I chose this particular page from Fantasy Designs by Aaron Pocock from the Creative Haven series because it was easy. I didn't have to think about creating a background, and I thought I could basically just do it in 3 colors, blue, brown, and green. The watercolor part took me about 20 minutes, and then I had to leave home, so I did not have a chance to procrastinate and to get lost in improving the page. The next day I decided I could try to fine-tune the picture with some pencils without a specific time limit, but I was also fine with leaving the picture as it was. I do quite like the picture even if I don't really understand it. I think this elf that I made quite green so that he would be able to blend with his surroundings is sitting on a hand of a tree. I can clearly see an elbow there. It makes me think of Ents in Lord of the Rings, and Merry and Pippin who were carried by these sentient tree-like beings. But in this page I don't see how I could possibly convey this idea of an arm with an elbow, other than just basically telling you that in so many words. I think the next time I color something like this with a frame, I should tape down some washi tape so that I don't raise my anxiety level by going over the lines, but to be honest, I did not really care that much. I'm sure I would not even get to this page if it wasn't for this relaxation exercise, because it really is a very simple page with few elements. This is what I mean when I say you should choose a book you don't really love that much for a quick bout of relaxation, or a page you don't particularly like, or you don't know what to do with that, which would otherwise not get colored at all. I finished the picture later with some pencils, and it probably took me no more than 5 minutes, since I didn't really want to fuss about it too much. But I can tell you that I quite like the watercolors here, even though the paper is not great for that. It sucks the water up, so there is no blending wet on wet, but it holds up quite well, so I'm sure I'll do more pages in this marvelous little book with some wet media. For some reason, at this point in my life, I find it more relaxing to color with watercolors. Perhaps it's because it's faster and you get a stronger sense of satisfaction that way. And I can get frustrated with pencils at times. But you do you. The purpose of this exercise is to remember you have your coloring that can quickly and quite easily calm you down and get you out of that state of panic and worry. It's all biochemistry. When your body is in a state of intense stress, you can't think clearly. Your heart is racing and your breathing is shallow. It's creating a sort of a vicious cycle. The more you worry, the less able you are to get out of that stressed state. You can, however, change your state deliberately if you know some techniques or have some tools readily available for such occasions. I've heard from many people that drinking water calms them down, and it has a biological reason for that. You must calm yourself down a bit, or you won't be able to drink and to swallow. And the sensation of cool water flowing down your esophagus grounds you in the here and now, thus helping you relax. We've all heard that old saying, count to 10, because that's basically achieving the same thing. We have to focus on counting and doing it slowly, so we are showing our body that the threat is not imminent, and that there is still time just to stay in place for a while and do some thinking. So it's okay to lower the heart rate and breathe more slowly. And the same principle applies to coloring. If you have enough time to focus your attention to holding a pencil, a brush or a marker, and to coloring an image, trying to stay within lines and not tear or crumple the paper, then the body will surely realize that no bears are chasing you, and that it's fine to gradually turn down the reaction of the sympathetic nervous system and to become calmer. It doesn't magically solve your problems, and it doesn't make more time for doing all the things you have to do, but it can really improve the quality of your life, and it helps you stay sane. So next time when you're stressed and overwhelmed and considering making a large cup of coffee to stay awake, or mindlessly browsing Facebook or Instagram to escape that stress, just go and color anything for 15 minutes. Who knows, you might even learn that exclusive skill of doing things imperfectly and being fine with that. But for now, until we meet again, I wish you all the very best on your own personal quest. See you soon. Bye.